And welcome to Community Kitchen. Everyone's whinging the radio station this morning how cold it is. They should go and live in Kilcoy and they'll know what it's really all about. We've got some great guests today. We're actually looking at some of our market stall holders that are going to be involved in Farm Fantastic in our Food for Thought tent. And, of course, of you that know, we've taken the Community Kitchen 3 years ago out to Farm Fantastic and created this great, I call it a tent. It's a Food for Thought tent, and it brings together a whole like-minded group of people who just love food. We've got some wonderful exhibitors, and this year we're happy to present some market tables. So I thought we'll have a little bit of a glance at some of those. We've already talked to Valerie from Green Living, and of course they're going to have cheese makers and lots of different preserving units and just some really good old-fashioned things that nowadays people are taking back into their kitchens. This morning we're going to be talking to Crave Cakes from Toowoomba, and they're going to have some a stall with us this year, and Pudding Lane, and I'm sure you've seen them at different marketplaces, beautiful luxurious puddings. And just a little reality check a little bit later, I'm going to be talking to Katie Clift from the Queensland Cancer Council. I want to talk to her about the 5-star rating, which is fantastic for food labelling, so that'll be great to listen to that and see the progress, because it is something we've been following here on our Community Kitchen, trying to make it easier for people to understand what they're eating and the different levels of fat and sugar and salt in their foods. Has to be simple, I think, otherwise it's going to be something that's going to be ignored. You know, I love it when we can have a little bit of a skite here at Community Kitchen. We interviewed the people from Kalalo Bakery at Pittsworth a few weeks ago, and I'm reading the Country Life, and of course there's a huge big feature, and they're the front page of the Smart Farmer, the Queensland Smart Farmer. It's great that we're looking at all these fantastic industries all around Queensland as well as our community, but it's nice to be able to bring to the listeners just something that's going on. We talked Taste Trekkers last week with Sally that does some wonderful things going into Sunnybank and Inala, and a lot of the time you don't realise the huge communities that have created in different areas throughout Brisbane. You don't have to travel overseas, guys. You can go to Inala and feel you're in Vietnam, go to Sunnybank, feel you're in China, go to Alderley and feel as if you're in the middle of some fantastic Middle Eastern foods and African cuisines. I think it's great, and sometimes it's nice to go for a drive on the weekends and see what's going on, so we try to bring that to you too. I think what we might do, but we'll go to our song, and we're going to come back very shortly with our first guest, Heather Woodcraft. And welcome back to Community Kitchen. Our first guest, Heather Woodcraft, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Everyone's complaining here in Caboolture, but you're a Toowoomba way, aren't you?
Yes, we are. We get a lot of that, actually.
Now, Heather, you're going to join us at Farm Fantastic this year at the Food for Thought tent, which is just great, and you're going to be one of the first year of our market stalls, which is very exciting. What are you going to bring to the table?
Well, we're going to bring some of our delicious and unique cupcakes, obviously, so we'll try and bring as much variety of those as we can, and also a whole heap of our macarons.
Oh. There's always great controversy about these macarons, but I know that our parents used to make them when you were little kids, parents would make them, but nowadays, of course, with all the different cooking competitions, it's really been brought to the front, hasn't it?
Yeah, they're a huge trend at the moment. We can't keep up with demand. They're so popular.
Now, where did it all begin for you? I mean, you name your business?
So Crave Cupcakes it's kind of been a secret dream of mine for years and years, owning a little pink cupcake store. I think every girl kind of wants that. And then last year we had an opportunity there was a little shop in Toowoomba that was for sale, and I went, look, now's the best time, let's just do it. Kind of jumped in with both feet, so.
That's fantastic. Cupcakes are one thing. I mean, once upon a time we called them patty cakes, and there's no difference, is there, between a patty cake and a cupcake?
No, as far as I'm aware, cupcake's just a very American term for it. We still get lots of people in calling them patty cakes.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm of that era too. But I do love a good cupcake. What seems to be the favourite thing that people like?
Anything chocolate.
Oh, really?
Yep, every time. We can't have enough different types of chocolate flavours.
Isn't that amazing? And you bake them at the premises?
Yep,
You do everything?
everything on site. Nice and simple.
Oh, that's great. So you actually, and just tell me how this works now. It's a cupcake shop just dedicated to cupcakes and macarons.
Yep, just cupcakes and macarons. We've got a coffee machine as well, but that's about it for food. So it's nice and simple.
Oh, that's great. And tell me this now, different flavours. I had the pleasure of going to America and I did have the red velvet. I went to New York and the lady who was on Sex and the City, she always had this particular cupcake shop she used to go to. I went there, but I must say that I found one in San Francisco that really, if I could remember the shop and it was easy, I'd get a dozen delivered a week. It was just sensational.
Oh, that would be amazing.
So you do red velvets?
Yes, all the time. It's definitely one of the most popular ones.
And the decoration, I mean, people would be actually getting them for birthday cakes.
Yeah, lots of baby showers and birthdays and anniversaries and all different types of occasions. It's really good to see, actually, because people are so creative with what they want on them, so we get to have a play around with lots of different ideas.
Do you have a website that people can look at and see what you have to offer? What's your website?
So it's just www.cravecupcakes.com.au. We put up lots of photos of all our latest things.
I think it'll be fantastic, all these people. Now, you're going to be selling them, of course, at Farm Fantastic, because there's nothing nicer than being able to walk up and buy a little cupcake to enjoy. I think the one thing that I was hoping that maybe we'll be able to do too is you might be able to give people a few hints on decorating, because you know, sometimes you look in different books and it looks so complicated, and yet all you've got to do is just see that person, just show that little technique, and it's a breeze. Well, it looks a breeze, doesn't it?
Secret ways that look really impressive, but, you know, once you try them, you realise it's actually not that impossible, so...
And are you a baker by qualification?
I'm not. Prior to this, I actually worked in festival management. So I've got a chef that does all the baking for me.
Yep.
So he makes sure that everything's delicious and well presented, and he's very talented.
So you're really the taste tester?
Yeah, quality control and make sure every batch tastes good.
What a terrible job. I can imagine there would be a lot of people who'd like to join you for that.
Yeah, someone has to do it. It's a responsibility.
I think it's great. Now tell me this, your favourite cupcake, what is it?
My favourite, our butterscotch pudding at the moment. I'm a massive caramel fan, so that one every time.
So is that caramel actually folded through the mixture, or is it actually we're trying to visualise this here. You should have sent us some down.
It's a butterscotch cupcake with a caramel sauce all over it and then a caramel icing.
Oh, that sounds delicious. You're going to be bringing those to farm?
I think I'll have to now. I can't talk them up and then not deliver.
I know. A lot of people talk about, you know, when you think about different foods and different family traditions, there's certain tastes that sort of stay. And I know that my mum used to make this fantastic caramel tart. And you know, now, of course, we call it the banoffee, but it never was in Australia. That's an American cake, but it used to be one of those things, and as kids we loved that when we knew it was going to be happening. And you get these little favourites and you taste something, you think that is exactly a memory of my childhood. So I think a lot of times when people eat something like that, it does bring back all those beautiful food memories.
Yeah, definitely. We do a rhubarb crumble cupcake, which really seems to bring back a lot of memories for people, because I think it's something that grandmas used to make a lot, and
definitely.
It's just people love seeing that one.
Heather, I'm a grandma and I make rhubarb crumbles.
There we go.
I think it's one of those things that is beautiful. I know, and it's nice, isn't it, that you can actually bring those tastes back to the front again, because they are beautiful combinations and there's something that's really special and very nice. Surely you're going to have a lemon delicious somewhere in there?
Yeah. a lemon meringue is very popular, so we'll definitely be knocking some of those up for it.
That is fantastic. Now, with the macaroons, it's been something that, we've seen all the different, as I said earlier, the cooking shows, and they talk about the art of making it. There are a few little tricks, aren't there, to producing the perfect macaroon?
Macarons are incredibly fiddly. They're, even depending on the weather and the how hard the fan in your oven blows, everything affects it so minutely.
Yes.
So there's a lot of trial and error in getting those perfect every time.
I think that's great. And what about the fact, when you were in your childhood, was your mother a great baker?
Not my mother, but my grandmother used to own a cheesecake factory, so we always had baked goods around when I was growing up.
Ah, so the woodcraft comes through.
Yeah.
Actually, I looked at your surname and I thought, I wonder whether there's an association. That's amazing, isn't it? Because that's a generation business, which is fantastic.
It's been really, really lovely to be able to go back into it and kind of get tips and hints from all over the family. It's been great.
And were they based in Toowoomba?
No, the Woodcraft Cheesecake Factory was Brisbane, actually.
Yep.
So I only moved up to Toowoomba a couple of years ago and call it home now.
It's a bit of a change.
It's lovely. It's such a relaxed pace up here. It's really nice.
Especially to own a cupcake shop.
Yes.
Well, look, I look forward to meeting you in the flesh at Farm Fantastic, and we look forward to you having lots of cupcakes with you. I'm sure that people will look forward to that, and bring some of those special little crumble ones. And we're sitting here thinking that would be so nice on a day like this.
Oh, it's perfect for it.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely.
Bye now.
Bye.
And we've been talking to Heather Woodcraft, and isn't that amazing? When I saw her name, I had that feeling that Margaret Woodcraft used to have the cheesecake shop many years ago, and of course that's gone now, but nice to know that one of the granddaughters has come along and taken that back into the flesh. I think we might go to our sponsors, and we'll be back shortly. Well, it's certainly got the appetites going here. We've Googled the www.cravecupcakes.com. How beautiful. If they were in Caboolture, I'm sure that there'd be a few people walking there. But isn't it interesting, the fact that so many different flavours are brought back? I mean, the rhubarb crumble, it's that time of year again, and you sometimes forget the really simple things of life. And one of the desserts that we used to have regularly as children was a fruit crumble. And it is such a nice thing. There's so many beautiful apples at the moment. There is rhubarb around. Of course, you don't have to be limited to that. We are in pineapple country, and I know that pineapple is fantastic to make into a crumble. You just have to cook it a little bit longer than you would your apple. But of course, with your crumble topping, you can change that around a little bit, and using your flour and your rolled oats and brown sugar, you can add some fantastic nuts if everyone's happy in the family for that. But I just think it's one of those things that you can pop in, and thinking of a cupcake with crumble makes you really think about the fact that a beautiful fruit base with a nice crumble on top, jazz it up a little bit, put some coconut, put some lots of different goodies in there, something that children can do. It is school holidays. Pop it in the oven, and at night time when you're looking for that something beautiful and warm, a fruit crumble. How nice is that? And it's nice and healthy, and there's so many lovely combinations that you can use with your fruit. Go and have a look in the fruit shop and have a look and see what's there, because a lot of the times your fruit shop guy will say to you, well, this is on sale, and it doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong with it. It just means it's seasonal, and of course there's a lot abundant fruit. So I think it's good to have a look at that. And of course you can make some beautiful things, and it doesn't have to stop there, because as Heather was saying, they make a rhubarb crumble cupcake, which sounds divine. So have a little think about that, because if you've got a good cupcake recipe, there's no reason why you can't put some stewed rhubarb with it and a little crumble on top. I don't think we'll be competing with Crave Cupcakes from Toowoomba, but we certainly will be getting some taste into the kitchen. We're going to be talking with Alison from Pudding Lane today. It's one of those days I've decided we're going to cover sweeties and good things today, good things that are yummy. And once again, they're going to be at Farm Fantastic with us this year. And I think it's nice to see that these little businesses are cropping up and sort of almost going back to some really old ideas of combinations and taste, which I think is a really nice thing, because some of those memories that you have from childhood are just too good to leave behind. Whatever happened to good old milky rice? People are buying it now, but it's just such an easy thing to do, and it's so nice and delicious, and I'm sure children would like it. It's one of those things with children that they like the simple taste and the wholesome. So get cooking, guys. It's school holidays. I think we'll go to our song. We'll come back with our next guest very shortly. And welcome back. We have our next guest online, Alison from Pudding Lane. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Very well. We're talking sweet things today. We're talking cupcakes and puddings, and I'm getting into trouble here because everyone's starting to get a little bit hungry.
Oh, they're going to be hungry by the time we're finished, I reckon.
Pudding Lane, it offers a fantastic selection of puddings. You're creating them yourself?
It's actually my cousin's business. It's a family business. He is the creator and the clever one that came up with the idea. But yeah, we offer a range of four chocolate flavors. Mm-hmm. Our traditional Christmas, slight slamp with a brandy macadamia, and we also cater for gluten-free, which is
fantastic.
Also lactose and dairy-free.
You know, it's interesting, isn't it? The people we talked to before, they're a family business too. And I think it's so nice when you see these sort of things going through.
Yeah, it's nice to be sort of part of it and, watch the growth and see it expand and do well. And, I mean, he enjoys the fact that we do well for him here in Queensland. So
yes.
It works out lovely, yes.
So, Heather, Alison, I have actually seen these puddings when I've been to different markets. They look absolutely so special. They're so beautifully presented.
Thank you.
Your cousin is a chef or a baker?
No, he just, it's just something he got into. He saw a niche in the market there for a good quality Christmas pudding.
Yeah.
And went to town with it, basically.
That's incredible, isn't it?
So there we go. He went from there, and he actually exports them over to the UK, which is a good thing. Calls to Newcastle, so to speak.
I know. So, that's what I was just thinking. I was just thinking here you're sending a Christmas pudding to the UK.
Exactly. It's crazy, isn't it? We actually last year, and I'm pretty certain this year, Jamie Oliver's put his name to the puddings as well, and is calling them over there. Jamie Oliver Pudding Lane puddings or something along that way. So yeah, so he's sort of likes the idea of our puddings as well. Go on.
Sorry, the one thing that I've noticed that a lot of these businesses that come about and have success, they use good products. I mean, we've got lots of the cheap imitations, and whilst people will say, that tastes all right, once you've tasted something that is made with a fantastic product, it's hard to go back, isn't it?
It is. I mean, all our puddings are handmade.
Yes.
They're all made from scratch. My husband and I are usually down in the kitchen a couple of times a year. To actually help put some of these puddings together. And you literally are standing there cracking the eggs, mixing the butter through, pouring out the brandy, and it's all done by hand.
I love to hear that word, butter. I know a lot of, like once upon a time it was all butter, and then we sort of got into this, and this is just a personal opinion of mine. I just think that, butter, of course, I'm always pushing for the farmers, but I just love the fact that the people use butter, because if we're using a substitute, then of course we're not promoting our dairy farmers, and we're not sort of keeping the farmer alive. So I love to hear that when people say we're using butter.
Definitely lots of butter. We use Bundaberg rum in our chocolate rum and raisin pudding, and we use Queensland sugar, and the macadamias are, of course, from Queensland as well.
Fantastic.
So they're very decadent. They're not a cheap pudding, but these days you get what you pay for.
Yeah,
and if you want a good quality handmade, pudding, Pudding Lane would be the way to go. And as I say, we've got the 8 flavors. 4 chocolate ones. There's chocolate rum and raisin, chocolate orange, chocolate macadamia, and triple chocolate.
You know, talking to the
Which is
cupcake
decadent.
lady before, she was saying that chocolate is her most popular cupcake. It seems to be one of those things. People just love chocolate.
Everybody's drawn to chocolate. I've had people come to the market and say, "Oh, I don't eat Christmas pudding," and I said, "Well, how about a chocolate one?" "Oh, no, I can't." You know, and then they've tried it, and I had one lady bought 3.
Wow.
You know, I don't like Christmas pudding, but I will eat this because of the chocolate in it.
And you're going to bring
quality
some
of
great
it.
samples to the Farm Fantastic this year.
Absolutely. My husband's probably going to be there most of the days, and we'll be there with samples, and obviously, you know, they are there to buy as well. But we will have samples of all the puddings that are on offer.
I think that's
So
fantastic.
they're absolutely well worth a try.
Oh, I think it would be good. And I think it's that time of year too, though, I was just saying before, you know, sometimes you forget those lovely combinations that you've had throughout your family for years, you know, tastes that you remember. And I know that, you know, we used to regularly have a chocolate self-saucing pudding. It was just one of those things that we just ate, and we loved it as children. And it never felt bad for you.
No, they're not bad for you. They're really good, especially this time of year when it's so cold. But I mean, you know, these are puddings you can have hot, you can have warm, you can have cold. You know, whichever way you prefer. You can have them with a dollop of cream, you can have them with custard, or you can have them with both.
Just thinking of the labelling, you know, when you're saying you're sending them overseas, what a great Christmas present.
They do. We sell a lot as Christmas gifts. I've actually just had someone online to me a couple of days ago wanting some sent over to the States, believe it or not.
Wow.
And they tried them here in Brisbane a few years ago, and they want 3 sent over there. So I have to work on that one. Try and get the postage at a reasonable price.
Who would have ever thought, you know, when you think about how the people many years ago brought different spices and that into different countries and opened up so many different cooking avenues, and now we're sending sort of whole products that are produced to different countries. It's quite unbelievable, really.
It is quite amazing, isn't it? I mean, you know, the UK market, you know, I mean, it's just amazing how it's gone over there. It's, you know, that everybody loves the puddings over there, so that's a good thing. I mean, my cousin obviously has been over there doing a bit of promoting, but, you know, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. And once you tried it, I have people tracking me down all across Queensland saying, "Oh, we had a pudding off you last year. Where are you this year?" You know? So it's good. It's amazing how the word of mouth gets out there, and people come back because they know it's a good quality pudding for Christmas or for any time.
We're going to
just at Christmas.
Yeah, we're going to hold you to that. We're going to try this at Farm, and we'll let you know whether the proof is in the pudding.
Exactly. All right, not a problem.
Thank you, Alison.
Right.
Thanks for
very
joining
much,
us this morning. Bye.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
And there you go, guys. Pudding. It's good for you. Don't feel badly about it. It's fantastic. We're going to go to our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to Katie Cliff from the Queensland Cancer Council. And welcome back to our Community Kitchen. Katie Cliff from Queensland Cancer Council, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
How did your great big morning tea go?
Oh, my goodness. It's still going, would you believe?
I've been seeing things in the paper. It just seems to get bigger than Ben-Hur.
It is. It's amazing. And we have just increased support every single year that we run Australia's biggest morning tea. And, yeah, literally there are still people who will host a morning tea throughout July and donate the proceeds back to us. So it goes great guns. I mean, who doesn't love a cup of tea and a cupcake for a good cause?
Katie, we've been talking to a woman this morning from Crave Cupcakes at Toowoomba. And seriously, Lucy, who's panelling for me here, she just Googled them, and I think she's actually a little bit hungry now.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Well, even hearing you say cupcakes is like, oh, my goodness.
She has some good things. Now, we received a media release here on the progress on food labels, and it wins 5 stars from Cancer Council. What's happening?
So this is great. We saw a couple of weeks ago intergovernmental support for new national front of pack food labelling, which is based on a star system. So at the moment what we've got is percentage RDI labels on processed, packaged and manufactured goods, which I think a lot of people would recognise. And we actually hear that a lot of people are confused when they go to buy a packaged good and they see those percentage labels on the front and they're not really sure what they mean or how they compare to other products. So what they're bringing in on a voluntary system to start with across Australia is a health star rating. So you'll have a rating for your food item out of 5 stars, and then information on the saturated fat, the sodium, the sugars, the fibre and the energy per 100 grams. So it makes it a lot easier to compare products and then to make healthier choices.
You're right about the fact that it's confusing because, I mean, we've had so many people on this show in the last 6 years trying to get to some simple level. Everyone knows 5-star. We'd all like to aim for the 5-star at COM if we're staying somewhere. So it's something that stays in your mind, isn't it?
Yes, and we see it on, dishwashers and washing machines as well. Yeah, so it's easy for us to recognise what it means. I actually don't do the grocery shopping in my home, but I understand the concept of being there trying to choose a product which is healthier out of these two, and you want to make quick decisions. I mean, you don't want to be standing there for ages trying to work it out. So this should hopefully make it a lot easier for shoppers as well.
I think one of the things you're saying, you've got children and you're taking them shopping, but when you talk to older people, I find a lot of people say that they can't read it because the print's so small. I wear glasses to read, but I don't wear glasses to get around. So it's such a procedure when you have to go and, try and scrutinise this packet, whereas really the star system is just brilliant.
Yeah, so for those people who want the on-the-go kind of 2 stars, okay, I'll go for the 4-star option, it's perfect. But also for those who then want to compare, as I mentioned, like the sugar content, the fibre content, the energy, it's made it so much easier because it's based on per 100-gram serve. So at the moment, food companies have the ability to indicate what their serving size is. They can choose what it is and then put the measurements for those items, based on their own serving size. So you could be comparing 2 products at 100 grams and maybe, 250 grams and literally not be able to understand, or, it takes you a lot longer to work out which product's healthier. So a lot easier on that front as well.
I can't imagine anyone wanting to go shopping and take a calculator and have to do all these different things. So that's a wonderful thing. I mean, you do see people with calculators when they're budgeting and things like that. I can dig that because, a lot of people have to watch what they're spending. But when you've got to actually look at the other side of it and say, well, what am I eating here? And I have to go through this calculus every time I hit an aisle, it's just too hard.
Yeah. And it's a big thing, it might seem like a small change, that it's just a change to the front of pack food labels, but it will roll out through to the health of our families overall and then the health of Queenslanders in general. So at the moment we know that obesity rates are far too high. We see about 1 in 3 adults as overweight and 1 in 4 obese. And high body mass, this shocks me every time I speak about it, but it's the leading cause of premature death and disability in Queensland. So higher than tobacco, higher than anything else. This is the leading cause. So anything that makes it easier for consumers to choose healthier food options quickly and easily is a wonderful thing. It's a really great move.
I think it's fantastic. And then, of course, we get to talk to other people about labelling of food. And then you start getting into different categories. Is it from Australia? Is it packaged here? Is it grown here? Is it owned by a country overseas? I mean, the food labelling can be very, very complex when you start to look at what they have to put on a box or on a bag.
Yeah, absolutely. And, anything at all that does make it easier for people is just wonderful, because it really is, helping people make healthier choices for their whole family. And I mean, who wouldn't want to encourage consumers to be able to do that? I just really think it's a wonderful thing. So as I mentioned too, it is voluntary at the moment.
Yes.
So yeah, we as Cancer Council Queensland are calling on the food industry to honour this commitment and roll it out as soon as possible. Within the next couple of years though, within 2 years, if it's not widely rolled out, they will make it mandatory. So that's a good backup and requirement as well.
When you look at the world, I mean, I think it's the UK uses the traffic lights, is that right?
Yeah, and we actually advocated for the traffic light system,
yes,
which didn't go through a couple of years ago, but that again just makes it so much more simpler for people to have a look and make choices easily. But yeah, it researches really well, so people respond quite well to the traffic light system overseas. Yeah, it's a good system.
When you start to think of our supermarkets and you've got products from the UK, you've got products from the USA, you've got products from Europe, I wonder in the end where does it all come together on the supermarket shelf? I mean, just to throw a little bit of a cat and the pigeons here, but that could be another confusion.
Oh, definitely, because this is all about Australian products. Exactly, and then having overseas products. Yes, it could still be confusing for consumers, but yes. I mean, this is what you would call even a first step in making it so much easier for us, and we've come really far.
I think it's fantastic.
And as I said, I don't do the grocery shopping; I send my husband, but I'm sure it'll make it a lot quicker and a lot easier for him as well.
I think you mentioned one time too you don't cook.
Yes, that's right. How do you remember these things? It's so funny.
Yeah, because I do. I think it's quite interesting that you, I guess because it's very tradition in our family, I do the shopping and the cooking, but I just find it interesting when I meet someone who says, I don't even do the shopping or cooking, and I think, well, I would starve if that happened in our house. I think it's good.
Funny.
But it's just going back to this labelling, I think the thing that I like about it is that it's taking ownership of our products in Australia, and of course everybody reads about it. We have to support our farmers. I feel so passionate about this because I get so sad when you see a product on the shelf that we can't buy Australian garlic, for goodness sake. I mean, how ridiculous is that? It takes such a hard job to find Australian garlic. It's so limited, and yet we've got such abundance farming land here. So let's hope, along with the labelling, that we start to actually get someone who's really, really pushing for the for Australian products. I think that's a good thing.
Absolutely. And we do hope as well that this will open the door to a lot more improvements in this area as well. So good on you for advocating and for your passion. Yeah, it's inspiring. It's great that, people are raising the conversation about this as well.
I think it's out there, and I think that a lot of people talk, and if you get to listen to mums and a lot of dads and a lot of people who are talking about food and talking about, I think it starts with the cost of food, number one, and then it sort of goes from there, which is always a bit of a sad thing for me because I had an occasion the other day, and it's just a simple thing. I bought a toasted cheese tomato sandwich and a flat white coffee, and it cost me $9.50, which, apparently is about what the cost is. And I was thinking about a family meal. For $9.50, I can actually get the basis of a family meal for 4 people for $10. Takeaway food is very expensive. We have to still look after our guys who have shops, but if you're doing that every day, and if you're, like people talk about how expensive food is, when you start buying out, it really puts the price up, doesn't it?
And for a lot of people too, people need to realise that it can be really easy to make healthy meals at home as well.
Yes.
I think a lot of us sort of think that it's cheaper to eat out or even to get really cheap takeaway fast food and fill the mouths and fill the tummies, and we just move on because it's convenient for us. But it can be really easy. I watch my husband put together really healthy meals. But, I mean, we've got a stack of healthy recipes on our website. You can also look up the government's 2 and 5 website as well, which has some excellent menu ideas and meal ideas from breakfast through to snacks and dinner as well. But just really shows you easy and cheap ways to put together food that will really boost the health of your whole family. So I agree, it's important for people to be aware and have a go as well.
I think that's great. Thanks for joining us, Katie, and no doubt we'll talk down the track.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.
And we've been talking to Katie Cliff from the Queensland Cancer Council, and she doesn't cook. I think that's fun. So we've had a good morning. We've talked to Heather Woodcraft from Crave Cupcakes. Go online, have a look. Lucy has been, and I tell you what, there's some beautiful things there. You'll be baking this afternoon when you see that website. It is just gorgeous. Toowoomba, a little bit far to drive, but it's all right because they're coming to Farm Fantastic on the 19th, 20th and 21st. I'm definitely going to have one of those. And Pudding Lane, of course. Alison was talking about that. Amazing, isn't it, that Pudding Lane is actually exporting into the UK. And when you think of Christmas cakes, you often think this is where they come from, and we're sending back into there. So there must be something going for it. I know that they look beautiful. And a 5-star rating, I think that's fantastic. Voluntary at this stage, but you know, with little things, big things happen apparently. Paul Kelly keeps singing about it, and I love it because I think it's so true. You just got to keep planting that little seed, and before you know it, you've got a huge oak tree. And I think it's fantastic that these people are pushing for that. We talked to Associate Professor Heather Yateman a little while ago, and of course her little quote with this media release is, ministers with responsibility for food have taken the next step in tackling chronic disease and weight issues associated with poor nutrition. And I think that sort of covers the whole thing with this new food labelling. We're making a step, and I think that's great. I think it's just a fantastic thing. So it's nice to talk to those people. And of course, if you do get the opportunity and you're somewhere, I know that the Wamuran Co-op has them. Have a look for the Smart Farmer. Really nice story about our breadwinners, which we will share. We had on our show a couple of weeks ago. Sweet success of sourdough. And what a great story. It was just something that grew out of a little passion. And here they have this beautiful little baker shop at Pittsworth. And I'm definitely going over there and have a little go. I think he said you can come and join him on a Monday. Probably have to knead bread or something like that, but how fun would that be, especially if it's a cold day? Well, thank you for joining me this morning, and I'll be back next week. Till then, goodbye.